TikTok might look like the perfect platform to become famous overnight. Flashy dance challenges, viral comedy skits, life hacks that seem too good to be true. But behind the rapid rise to fame that millions crave is a darker, more complex reality that rarely makes headlines. This is the side of TikTok's success that nobody warns you about. A silent mental health crisis that has quietly claimed the joy, peace, and sometimes even the lives of those who once thrived under its spotlight. Let's uncover this hidden side of social media stardom and why it matters more now than ever. One of the most troubling aspects of TikTok fame is how unprepared most creators are for the psychological toll that virality brings. Unlike traditional celebrities who work for years in controlled environments like film sets, music studios, or sports arenas, TikTok stars can skyrocket to fame literally overnight, usually from their bedroom or dorm room. Without professional managers, publicists, or mental health resources in place, these young creators are thrust into the glare of millions of eyes. The pressure to please everyone, post constantly, stay relatable, and avoid backlash becomes overwhelming, and there's no manual to guide them through it. The problem is especially dangerous because of TikTok's algorithm-driven nature. Unlike Instagram or YouTube, where audiences grow more gradually, TikTok can make an obscure teenager famous worldwide after just 1 or 2 videos. This sudden spike in attention comes without preparation or warning. It turns ordinary people into public figures who must now cope with criticism, trolling, canceled culture, and parasocial relationships, all while managing school, jobs, or family life. For many, this triggers severe anxiety, imposter syndrome, and panic attacks. Perhaps the biggest unspoken issue is the content treadmill these creators are forced onto. When a video goes viral, followers expect a steady stream of similar content. The TikTok algorithm favors consistency. If you post less or experiment too far outside your original niche, your views and engagement drop sharply. Creators are trapped in their own success. They can't take breaks without fear of losing everything they built. This relentless demand to produce daily, entertaining content pushes many into burnout, exhaustion, and eventually depression. And unlike other jobs where time off is normal, TikTok creators are told, explicitly or implicitly, that taking breaks is career suicide. The app's design and user culture reward only the most frequent and active posters. Missing a day or two feels like falling off a cliff. Many creators confess to pulling all-nighters to brainstorm ideas or forcing themselves to film content while sick or mentally drained just to stay relevant. Some even resort to fake smiles and pretending to be upbeat on camera while privately breaking down off-screen. One tragic example is the growing number of creators who have publicly spoken about suicidal thoughts or mental breakdowns. TikTokers like Nessa Barrett, Charli D'Amelio, and Bella Poarch have all admitted struggling with anxiety, depression, or self-harm due to the pressures of their internet fame. Their confessions stunned fans because they seemed to have it all: wealth, fame, beauty, millions of followers. But inside, they were crumbling under the invisible weight of expectations no teenager or young adult should ever have to carry. Another dark consequence is the distortion of identity that comes with being a TikTok brand. Many influencers report feeling like they don't even recognize themselves anymore. Their online persona, the funny guy, the relatable girl, the daring prankster, becomes a mask they cannot take off. If they break character, fans react with confusion or anger. Their real personality is lost beneath the algorithm-friendly version of themselves that made them famous. Over time, this leads to severe identity confusion, disassociation, and emptiness. Cyberbullying is a massive, constant threat in this environment. TikTok's comment sections can be brutal, filled with body shaming, slut shaming, racist remarks, and outright death threats. What's worse is that hate often goes viral itself. Hate videos criticizing or mocking a creator can gather millions of views, pushing negativity directly into the creator's feed. Some creators have revealed they stopped reading comments entirely because of the mental damage it caused. Yet avoiding comments means losing touch with your audience. Another damned if you do, damned if you don't trap. Then there is the chilling effect of cancel culture, which looms over every influencer like a sword ready to fall. One misunderstood joke, a poorly worded or an old video from years ago can spark outrage that turns loyal fans into enemies overnight. The fear of being canceled makes creators hyper-paranoid, second-guessing every post, every word, every opinion they might share. This leads to a deep sense of isolation because trusting anyone, including friends or collaborators, becomes risky. Some creators have withdrawn entirely, fearing that their careers could be destroyed at any moment by an online mob. One of the most alarming parts of this mental health crisis is how it fuels unhealthy coping mechanisms. Many TikTok stars admit turning to alcohol, drugs, or reckless behavior just to escape the pressure for a while. Others develop eating disorders after constant body-shaming comments about their weight, skin, or appearance. In the race to stay young, attractive, and camera-ready, some influencers have become addicted to cosmetic surgery or filters, creating a self-image so far from reality they no longer feel human. What begins as a career turns into self-destruction. What makes this crisis worse is the total lack of real mental health support for creators. Unlike actors or athletes who have agents, unions, and teams of advisors, TikTokers are usually alone. TikTok itself has been criticized for doing little to protect the well-being of its stars. Though some creators are signed by agencies or management companies later on, most face the pressures of fame entirely by themselves, especially in the critical first few months of their sudden rise. This isolation amplifies the risks of depression, addiction, and even suicide. The problem extends beyond the stars themselves. Fans are affected too. Young audiences worship TikTok influencers as lifestyle role models, but rarely see the suffering behind the screen. They believe fame equals happiness because no one shows the dark moments. This fuels a toxic cycle where millions of teens chase viral stardom without understanding its hidden costs. When their own videos flop or they don't get famous fast enough, they feel worthless, unaware that even their idols are secretly miserable. Social media envy becomes a widespread teenage illness. The constant exposure to fame at such a young age disrupts emotional development in serious ways. Psychologists warn that the human brain isn't designed to handle mass approval or disapproval until much later in life. When a 15-year-old is suddenly flooded with millions of opinions about their looks, voice, or behavior, their sense of self becomes warped. They learn to value likes, shares, and follows over real-world friendships or self-worth. When the fame fades, as it often does, they are left lost, unable to function without external validation. This can lead to lifelong struggles with confidence, anxiety, and loneliness. Money doesn't fix these problems. It often makes them worse. The richest TikTok stars earn millions in brand deals, sponsorships, and merchandise sales. But the sudden wealth adds new pressures. Legal troubles, financial stress, jealous friends, family conflicts. Some influencers blow their money on luxuries they can't afford, believing the fame will last forever. When it doesn't, they crash into bankruptcy and depression. Fame that rises too fast falls just as hard, and the financial ruin left behind can be devastating. The mental health crisis of TikTok fame is especially frightening because it's so invisible. On the surface, these creators look happy, beautiful, successful. Their videos are full of laughter, positivity, and charm. But behind the scenes, many are suffering inside, afraid to admit weakness in a world that demands constant strength. Some creators have left the platform entirely, citing burnout or mental collapse. Others tragically didn't survive the pressure. Stories of influencers dying by suicide or drug overdose are heartbreaking reminders that fame is not the cure-all it appears to be. What can be done? Experts call for platforms like TikTok to take more responsibility. Mental health resources, mandatory counseling for creators over a certain follower count. We as a society must stop glorifying overnight fame as the ultimate life goal. The truth is more complicated and more painful than the glossy videos suggest. Real success must include balance, privacy, peace of mind, not just followers and likes. Until we value those things, the TikTok mental health crisis will continue to grow in the shadows, harming the very people who once dreamed of internet stardom. As viewers, fans, and participants in this new digital world, we must be part of the solution, not the problem. Every like, comment, and share shapes the lives of the people behind the screen. Let's make those choices more mindful, more human, and less harmful. Only then can TikTok and the internet itself be a place where creativity and mental wellness grow together, not apart. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Digital Edge Media. Your support keeps us going, and we've got plenty more exciting content coming your way.